This topic is long awaited, and in this video, I want to talk about the Occupational English Test, the OET for doctors especially, because I was successful months back, and most of my followers have been asking me to make this video for them to help them prep. I actually used 2 weeks to prep. The first week was passive, the second week was a little bit intense, and I want to share my experience with you on how to write the OET. For those of you who are just joining my channel or who are just seeing me the first time, my name is Jerry and I am an international medical graduate. I immigrated to the United States and I live in Texas. I'm currently successful on step 1, step 2 of the United States medical license exams, and I am prepping for the step 3 as at the time I'm making this video. And I am also interviewing several programs for residency March, so that I can begin my internal medicine residency in June of 2023. And so let's go straight to this video. So the OET for healthcare professionals, it has become very known. As for me, like I knew about it recently when I was taking my exam, but the OET has several advantages, and these are why you should take it. So you need this OET to work or study in healthcare in countries like the UK, the US, the Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, Ukraine, Dubai, Singapore, and Namibia. Now, the OET, these are some of the advantages of the OET. You can use it for visa screen requirements, and the OET also helps you to prep as though you were working. So they simulate work environments, and then they use terminologies for, especially those for the healthcare. So they use terminologies that you'll be meeting every day in the hospital, and then that gives you a feel of what you should expect in the hospital when you start working. It also helps you to develop your English skills in your career. And above all, the OET to me is relatively easier because I wrote IELTS back then in 2017 to 2018, and I think I took about 3 attempts to write IELTS, to be frank to y'all. But with the OET, I went in only a single attempt and I was able to be successful, and I even used like 2 weeks. So I feel like if you have the chance to choose between OET and IELTS and TOEFL and all that, I will go for OET on any day. Now let's look at a little bit about the cost of OET. So OET, I think, is a little bit expensive than the IELTS for me. The cost is a little bit higher, but I think there is value for money. I paid about 587 Australian dollars, which is about 455 United States dollars, and that is what I paid for the OET doctors. And if for individual subjects are also, they're ranging from 200 for a single sub test to about 477 for multiple sub tests. So you can also check this information on the website of the OET. I'll leave the link down below, and anything that I'm going to talk about, I'll leave important links down in this video that you should look out for. So now let's go straight to how I managed to prep for OET within 2 weeks. Now, this is from my personal experience, and it might not work for everybody, but mostly if you follow my lead, it should work for you. So the OET has 4 different subjects, and they have the OET speaking, reading, listening, and writing. And for OET doctors, you should get a B and above in everything in order to pass. But I think the OET speaking or writing has a C is enough for it. I don't have the accurate information now. You can look at it online, but averagely I'll say a B is enough for the OET doctors. It might be same for nurses as well. So now I've talked about the cost already. I've talked about how the structure is. Now let me tell you how I prepped within 2 weeks. So Initially, I was a little bit scared because of my experience when I was taking the IELTS in the past. And so going into OET, I wasn't sure whether I want to do it or not, and I didn't have a lot of time at my disposal. So I was encouraged by my study partner to do it, and I had no choice than to proceed with it. So basically, I would say the most important part that you should focus on is the OET speaking and the writing. They were the main things that I made sure that I have a format, or I had a format before going into the exam, and I practiced on those ones carefully, so that when I go into the exam, I'm just translating my practice onto the exam paper for them. Also, you want to be able to choose between if you want to do a computer-based test or you want to do a handwritten test where we have OET writing and then the OET computer. So be careful of which of them you want. I am very slow when it comes to typing, and I didn't want to be typing and erasing, so typing and deleting. So I rather go and use pencil, and paper to for my test. So that's what I did, and I was very comfortable with that. And because it's my everyday life, it was easier for me. So let me talk about how I prep for the OET speaking. So first of all, there are several resources that you could use. You could find some study materials on the OET website, the official website. You can also find some resourceful people on Facebook who lecture people. You can also find some friends who are also writing this OET, and they can also help you. There are I'll say there are other organizations also that lecture. So whatever works for you, you can do it. But some of them you have to pay money, But I did not have to pay money to anybody. So this is how I went about the speaking. I found a study partner from Peru who we studied most of the speaking together. We did most of the speaking together. So she acted as the interlocutor at some parts, and then I'll be the student and she'll be the examiner, the interlocutor. And so when she speaks with me, then I reply her. Then in the next phase, she will also be the student and I'll be the interlocutor, or the examinee and I'll be the interlocutor. So it's more like that. And then we did that like several times. I think we did about five or six sessions of the speaking. So if you have 14 days that you are prepping, you can do about 6 days of that, and that should be enough for you. First of all, if you have no experience how it should be, you want to watch videos on YouTube and see how it is done, so that you and your study partner can also be able to simulate similar things. And basically, when you go in and then the question paper is given to you, and then your interlocutor also has questions that they should ask you. So whatever they want you to tell the patient is written in front of you. So they'll give you some time for you to read through and plan. So it is that plan that you are saying back to the interlocutor, and there is enough time because they go line by line. You talk about one line. Let's say they are saying that tell this patient about their disease, or first of all, they want you to educate the patient. You want to ask the patient like what the patient knows about the condition, if that is written on the paper, or if that is the instruction given to you, to ask the patient about what they know, or if it's written on the paper that tell the patient about the disease condition or tell the patient about the treatment, reassure the patient you want to do it. But there are certain things that fetch points during the speaking. For example, if you reassure the patient, it fetches a lot of points. You want to speak clearly so that the interlocutor can understand. Remember that it is not the interlocutor that is scoring you. She only or he only records you, and it is taken to Australia for marking. Now, you should also remember that thanking the patient is very important, and also summarizing at the end of your conversation with the patient is very important. It fetches about 3 marks. So if you reassure the patients, you get 3 points. If you summarize everything at the end, your interaction with the patient, if you summarize everything at the end, it fetches 3 marks. So there are certain points that you can really emphasize on in order to score cheap points, so that's just 6 marks already that I've just given you out. Regarding the OET reading, I downloaded reading materials from the website of the OET, and I did 2 samples, and that was enough for me. So during the reading in the exams itself, what happened was that because I had not prepped enough, I didn't master the time allocation for each of the sections during the reading. So I, with the first 15 minutes that was given, I actually thought that it was for section A, but that 15 minutes was rather for section A and B. So I lost some points there, but I increased my speed during the section C and D in order to make up for the lost points. But that is how I did it. Now, with the OET listening, I also downloaded the audio. You'll find that on the OET website. I downloaded the audio and then the answer sheets, and I listened to them also. I did about 2 of them, and I passed both of them before the exam. So it wasn't anything very difficult. Now, the next most important part that I will talk about is the writing. The writing is what you need to really focus on, the speaking and the writing. Practice the speaking and the writing. For those ones, you can lift them from your practice into the exam and replicate the same thing, and you'll get your score. So the resource that I used for the writing was a YouTube video from Dr. Faraz. So Dr. Faraz Ahmed is on YouTube. He's from Pakistan, and he is registered with a GMC and having license to practice in the United Kingdom. And I believe he lives in the UK right now. And so his videos about OET are on YouTube, and you can watch his page. I'll leave the link under this video with his permission. So he's the one that I used his videos, and they were very helpful. So this is how I used his video for the OET writing. So he will give you a format. He discussed the format. So I decided to write out the format that he discussed as my template, and any question that I'm going to practice on, I repeat the same template. And if you follow the same template into the exam, you would score high on the writing. And honestly, this is how I prepped for the OET. It was very helpful. After the test, my feeling was I was going to fail, because I met a lot of people who have taken, I met a lot of people there who have taken the test like several times, So, I also thought I was going to fail, because I didn't really enjoy the test, especially when I missed some points that definitely I know that I missed. And I also at the test center, the devices were malfunctioning. So some time was lost when they were correcting them or when they were fixing them. And so the interlocutor had to make up for the time. So she rushed me during the speaking, and I did not really enjoy the speaking. So I thought I was going to fail, but at the end I made like a B throughout for them. And that was very helpful for my USMLE and ECFMG certification. I hope this video is helpful to you. You can check my channel for more videos that might be helpful to you. Also share this video with anyone who might need it, and I'll see you again. Kindly subscribe, and I wish you luck in any exams that you are taking. Bye.